But let's start off here in England, in London specifically, with a certain Declan Rice. It's not new that he's been linked with a move to Chelsea. I think it's a bromance that I want to see on the pitch with him and Mason Mount. We know that they're BFFs for life. Get you somebody that loves you like Declan Rice loves Mason Mount. So Tom Hamilton, is Chelsea the obvious pick for him to go to? Because I feel like there's another wrench that's going to be thrown in there too that we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Declan Rice started his career there. He was in the academy. He's a Chelsea fan, and he's exactly what they need at the moment. He's one of these transitional players. So that's something which Chelsea have perhaps struggled with this season. They've looked to Jorginho, they've looked to Kovacic, but at the moment, neither of them are really fitting into that team. I think Declan Rice, if they got him in there, he'd also bring out the best in Kai Havertz. They'd allow him to play him a little bit, further forward up the pitch. Declan Rice, I mean, he's doing so well at West Ham. He's improving his sort of pass accuracy. That sort of thing is only going through the roof. So for the time being, I think Chelsea, I mean, they should really go for him as soon as possible. But again, it's one of these things where it'd be more likely in the summer.
Augie, we've also heard that Manchester United might be in the market for Declan Rice. Our very own Rob Dawson actually reporting that there too. What do you think there? You can have a look at it on our ESPN website, and you can also see me and Augie chatting some stuff too. But look at that, Manchester United rival Chelsea for Declan Rice. So Augie, how do you see this fit, and kind of where did this one come from?
Well, United have had a policy for probably the last 2 years now where they want to identify the best young talent, not just in England, but in Europe and across the world. So United's view is that if they can stock up with the best young talent in the future, maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, they'll have a team that can win major trophies again. Now, Declan Rice is a player they've looked at in the past. They do want somebody in midfield that, the man Matic is in his 30s now. They need to phase him out. But Scott McTominay's come along as the guy that they kind of put the hat on in the sense that he can be a defensive destroyer. But I think Declan Rice is a player that United have looked at for a while. And I do think that if it comes to the end of the season and he has a choice between United and Chelsea, it will actually boil down to a few things. Certainly who's in the Champions League. At the moment, Chelsea are struggling. Chelsea have really dropped off the pace. And I think despite the fact that he's a Chelsea boy and he's been at Chelsea in the past and Mason Mount is a good friend, if Chelsea aren't in the Champions League, then that's going to really hurt their chances of getting him, because Man United potentially will be in the Champions League next season, offer big wages. It's Man United, and footballers always say if Man United and Liverpool come knock on your door, then that tends to be the club they go for. So I do think United have got a chance with Declan Rice. It does all depend on where Chelsea finish, and also it depends on who the Chelsea manager is, because let's be honest, if Chelsea don't finish in the top four, they don't win a trophy, Frank Lampard is going to struggle to hold on to his job. So a new guy may come in. The new coach, whoever it is, if there is a new coach, won't have any say over transfers, but it could be a coach with a different philosophy. He doesn't really rate Declan Rice as much as Frank Lampard does. So there are a lot of things to factor into this one. One thing I will say is I don't think it'll happen in January. I think Declan Rice's future will be decided in the summer. After the Euros, if it takes place, you could have a great European Championships, and that might open up even more possibilities. I'm sure Man City are looking at him, Liverpool, because another thing you have to look at with Declan Rice is English, and English clubs need young English players, especially post-Brexit. They need to be able to have enough homegrown players to avoid having difficulties in Europe when it comes to, foreign players. So there are a lot of factors to think about Declan Rice. If he continues to progress as he is doing, he'll have more than Chelsea and Man United looking at him in the summer.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.